What do you do when you're desperate to move but you just can't sell your house? It's been on the market for months but all the viewings have dried up. Well, what you do is you stop selling and start swapping. House swapping is the latest trend to hit the property world. With around 10,000 properties registered with swap websites, it's a brilliant way to avoid the dreaded property chain and make that move onwards. We'll be meeting people who want to swap their home permanently.
Whoever designed it's done a brilliant job.
Yeah.
They really have.
And we'll show them 3 properties to find their perfect match.
Hello.
Welcome to our house.
Come in and have a look.
We hope you've enjoyed our tour.
And if you'd like to do a swap, just let us know.
After a day spent road testing each other's properties and lifestyles, we'll bring them to the negotiating table where our straight-talking negotiator, Sunita, will help them thrash out a deal.
Do you think there is anywhere for us to go with this?
I think £10,000 is a gesture.
Yeah.
Before we find out if they'll swap homes for good. Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the cathedral city of Canterbury in Kent, and I have an interesting fact for you. When the pilgrims are riding here on horseback, they would speed up the pace from a trot to a Canterbury trot, which is ever so less tiring on the horse than a gallop. And that became abbreviated and known as the canter. There you go. I have another interesting fact for you. There's a couple in Canterbury that want to do a house swap. And here they are. Retired teachers turned property developers, Ronnie and Catherine, have just finished work on 5 new eco-homes not far from the Kent coast in Canterbury. And with the market not what it was, they're looking to swap one for a holiday cottage that they can use but also rent out. So, that's Ronnie and Catherine. Now, time to introduce the real star of the show. Newly constructed, here she is, the eco-home. And apparently it's so fabulous it should make us all green with envy. Come on. Wow, take a look at all of this space. Got a lovely entrance hall here, and then we stroll into the dining lounge area that's in full show home mode. But what's interesting, I don't feel like I've walked into some kind of geeky and worthy eco project. I feel like I'm in a very well-built, sensible family home. Well, will you take a look at this? What is it? Is it the bridge of the Starship Enterprise, or is it in fact a news desk? Good morning, here are the news headlines. I'm currently standing in the kitchen. Yes, believe it or not, this is the kitchen. Even though it has these wonderful, sleek and sexy curves, this is the kitchen with its sparkling, dazzling work surface that looks like a million stars in the galaxy. And I would imagine that one could be beamed up if this extractor fan was on warp factor 9. It's domestic life, Jim, but not as we know it. This Hoover is rather special because it actually attaches into the walls around the house. You can take it anywhere you want, and all the dust disappears through the walls into another dimension. And there's other things in this house that are quite space-age that I'd like to show you, like in the ensuite here, we have a shower that is truly out of this world. I'm sure Doctor Who would like to bathe in there. We also have some very artful sinks and taps that look like flying saucers. The rest of the house is terribly well finished, with 5 bedrooms set over 3 floors, all accessed by this stunning central staircase. Well, there you have it in all its grandeur. One very green home. If only the same could be said for the garden. It's very early days for this. But if you're prepared to walk 60 seconds that way, this house comes with something that's very green indeed. This has to be the special feature of the property, as it comes with an acre of its very own woodland filled with the likes of oaks, sycamore and sorbus, and a sprinkling of bluebells as well. Ronnie and Catherine's 5-bed eco-house comes with an acre of woodland and has been valued at £625,000. And I think it's time we caught up with them. Well, thank goodness I found you in this woodland. It was quite a trick. Now you've obviously made such an effort building this wonderful home. Why do you want to swap it?
Yes. Have you ever heard of the credit crunch?
I am aware of it. It's not great.
Not many people know about it.
Oh, well, yes, I've heard rumours about it.
Yes.
So I take it that's affecting things?
Yes, it is. I mean, although we will sell some, we're aware of the fact that you know, A, we're not going to probably sell them all, and B, it's not necessarily a good idea to sell them all, because at the bottom of the market, you do think, well, things will get better.
Yeah.
So what we're thinking is, rather than sort of just renting it out, why not swap it and have a holiday home that we can rent out in another nice area of the country?
This is a brilliant plan. OK, so whereabouts? Are there any favoured parts of the country?
We'd be open to any idea, really. We'd be happy having a house in London or any city or in the countryside. We don't mind.
So basically, you're saying, Christian, throw me anything and we'll have a look at it. We'll consider it.
Sounds dangerous, doesn't it?
It does sound very, very risky. Who's going to end up with egg on their face? But I guess all of those decisions are dictated by the value of the swap. So what is the value of the property you've built, and how much would you want to swap for?
It was with an estate agent for $675,000, and it was valued in January at $625,000.
Yeah. So how much would you like to swap for? What kind of value?
Between sort of 6 and sort of 650, I guess.
OK, I think what we need to do is meander our way back through the wood, past the bluebells and the sycamore tree, and into the property, and we'll look at some houses.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it. OK, Ronnie and Catherine, we're about to see 3 properties in our property smorgasbord. All the owners of the homes are interested in the idea of swapping. So let's see which homes you like and which ones you don't. First up, we're going to meet Paul and Liz, and they're in Walton, West Yorkshire. Do you know the area?
No.
Not personally, no.
You're about to find out a lot about it. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Liz Halliday.
Hi, I'm Paul Halliday.
Welcome to our home in Wakefield, West Yorkshire.
Come inside and have a look.
Nice big entrance hall, light and spacious.
And through here's the sitting room, which is large enough for 2 settees, so we can have one each and lie down.
Through into the conservatory.
Unfortunately, the sun's not shining today, but normally the light's flooding in here and you get fantastic sunsets over the farmhouses. It's a great place for Sunday morning, reading the papers and having a coffee.
This is the kitchen. We both enjoy cooking here, don't we, Paul?
Yeah, it's very user-friendly, everything to hand.
Nice big double oven cooker.
Catered for 24 for Christmas dinner. If anybody tries to interfere, they get stabbed with one of the many knives.
There's no teamwork in this house.
This used to be 2 rooms, but as soon as we saw it, we thought this would make a perfect dining room. This is the study. This is where I spend most of my time because I work from home. Plenty of shelving and cupboards for all my bits and pieces.
This is the master bedroom. It's good size, as you can see. Double aspect, great views, a good few miles out of that window. And in here's the ensuite.
Shower big enough for 2. This is my daughter Catherine's room when she comes back to stay.
Again, nice, bright, airy room. This is the garden, yeah.
Patio area where we barbecue. Plenty of room for friends and relatives to come round. I've got my own mini allotment up here where I grow my vegetables.
Our house is on a very quiet road in the village of Walton. We're surrounded by farmland, greenbelt, countryside. The reason we want to swap is we want to change our lifestyle. The house has been on the market for over a year now, and current economic climate means we're having some difficulty in selling, so that's why we want to swap. This property is currently being marketed at $650,000.
Paul and Liz's 4-bed house in West Yorkshire has a conservatory, 1/3 of an acre with a very productive vegetable patch. So what would they like to swap to?
The most important thing about the other property is that it's in a good location. We're very flexible, I think, about what we're looking for, aren't we? That's our home, and we hope you liked it.
And if you'd like to swap, we'll have a chat. Bye.
OK, so that was Paul and Liz and their home. Right, let's feed off your initial instincts. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think?
We spent 8 happy years in Leeds, and it's a fantastic place to be. So the whole of Yorkshire's got a kind of a soft spot for us from that point of view. I'm not sure, looking at the house, though, it's a lovely place, but I'm not sure that's where people would think, let's go on holiday to Walton.
Let us slide and glide onto the next property. Kent.
Oh, Kent.
Kent. Do you know Kent? Do you know Kent? Then, if you know Kent, have a look at this.
Hi, my name's Habs. Welcome to the coach house near Lenham. Let me show you around. As you can see, we have a nice, great big 100-foot enclosed courtyard. So when the kids are playing out here, we can watch them and see, make sure they're safe and, and enjoying themselves. Well, this is a kitchen, great socialising areas. We have a lot of nice dinners here, and it's my little haven, actually, because I love cooking. We've got all the original features, got the beams here, still got all the old cast iron bits from the original coach house here as well. OK, so here we have the main living room, which is split into two by this original feature, the stable gate. You see, nice and solid. It's a beautiful feature. At the moment, it's a play area for her daughter. As you can see, she has her own kitchen and she has her own house, but unfortunately, neither of these come with the property. Coming through the main living area, where we have the Ingle Nook fireplace. This is one of the features that sold this property to me. You're going to love this room. Here we have the perfect period-featured bathroom. Avocado bathroom, avocado sink, avocado mirror. What more can an avocado lover want? Friends and family love this room. It's very spacious and airy with the high ceiling. It's just a lovely room, to enjoy yourself in or spend the weekend. When we have friends around, they just love being in this room. OK, this is the master bedroom with the eaves. As you can see, it's quite an unusual ceiling here, so we had to have wardrobes designed and built for this room. And we have them on both sides of the room. And then we also have an ensuite. So here we have the main house, and now we'll take you over to the annex and see what you think. OK, so the annex here has got three rooms, i.e. the lounge, a kitchen and a bedroom. As you can see, the lounge area, which is quite a nice size, I've turned into a gym. OK, and here we have the kitchen, all the standard stuff in the kitchen. You've got your fridge, very cool, cupboards, all nice and clean, sink. Anything perfect for what anyone would need for a weekend just to stay over. OK, here we have the bedroom. The bedroom includes an ensuite. Obviously, look after our guests when they come around, so they've got their own bathroom here. This is the entrance to the office. It's about 100 foot from the house. And this is really my garden shed. Right, well, this is my little bit of space here. This is my office. This is where I do all my work. But for those of you who work from home, this is a perfect office space.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
We're on the North Downs in Kent, which is a beautiful part of the Garden of England. The great thing about it, even though it seems like we're out in the sticks, we're literally 5 minutes away from our nearest town, which is Lenham, and it has all the local amenities there, and also has a train link direct to Victoria. The main reason we want to move is not particularly because we don't enjoy living here. We actually love this property, but because of my work, my wife needs to be closer to her family. A year ago, we had the property valued at 625, but with the current climate, we're looking at around 525.
Habib's 4-bed coach house also has a detached 1-bed annex and 2 separate office rooms. So what does he want for his swap?
The type of property we're looking to swap for is around about 5 bedrooms with a double garage and a decent-sized garden for our child to play in. Well, this is my house. I hope you like it. And if you fancy a swap, let's have a chat. Bye-bye.
There you go. So, could the coach house be a stable choice for you?
I quite liked it. I think it has a lot of potential. There are a number of features that I'd like to change. I'd like to update some of the bathrooms. I like the way that it's fairly close to where we live at the moment, so therefore it would be a property that we could manage ourselves as well as go for a holiday.
Yeah. What do you make of it, Ronnie?
Yeah, I thought it was actually quite surprising. You think, oh, that's it, and then there's another piece to it, and then another piece to it. So I like this sort of the way it's kind of unfolded for you. I thought it's a very interesting property.
I think we're feeling more positive about this.
I think that's got more potential.
OK, for our next property, we're going back up to Yorkshire, to Skipton. So take a look at this one here.
Go on, stop.
I'm Jill, this is Nicholas Wood.
Welcome to our converted mill house in Skipton, North Yorkshire. Of the 3 reception rooms in the house, this is the largest. It's about 22 feet by 29 feet. There's a Victorian wood-burning stove here, very useful for heating a large space in the winter. This terrace is south-facing and it can be a sun trap, despite the Yorkshire weather, which, however, is better than Lancashire weather.
This is the kitchen. It's a lovely family room. It's just really easy to use and really good kitchen for a family.
This is a multi-purpose special occasions room. We use it at Christmas, etc. We also have a sauna here. It's an authentic Finnish sauna with hot coals. We haven't done this yet, but an option would be to go to the back door, straight out and into the stream from the sauna.
Previous occupants left their sauna, but what we wanted to do was to bring our Italian kitchen when we left Italy 10 years ago. It's very useful to have a second kitchen. Now that our children are older, they can cook here independently.
The house is on 2 floors. This is the upper floor here, with a utility room opposite the kitchen. This is the master bedroom. It's a very good-sized room. It has 2 balconies overlooking the river. And here is the ensuite bathroom to the main bedroom. The house was built in 1785, and it's built of sandstone. The walls are about 70 centimetres thick. The house is set in at the edge of a 40-acre woodland trust woodland. This is the raised garden area with panoramic views over the woodland, and I think it's both of our favourite place in the garden, this. This detached building is a small remaining part of the original cotton spinning mill. It comprises of a large open-plan living area downstairs, and then stairs up to 2 bedrooms, and there is a small bathroom upstairs as well. As a holiday let, it will certainly make £6,000 to £8,000 a year.
You can stand anywhere in the middle of Skipton and see hills around the edge of Skipton.
And sheep, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. The value of this property is £700,000 to £725,000, and that's a 2009 valuation, not a 2007 valuation.
Nicholas and Jill's 6-bed converted mill house also has a 2-bed cottage and a riverside garden. So, what's their ideal swap?
Nicholas's children now all living in the south of England. I have family in the south. We haven't really got many family members up north anymore. It'd be quite nice to be living closer to the sea. That's something that we'd like to do.
Over. Right, OK. You were making very interesting noises when that was playing.
Yes.
Explain to me.
I sometimes say to Catherine, although I like contemporary style, in my weaker moments I do sometimes say, well, I wouldn't mind living in a house that's several hundred years old, and just soak up the history that's there and think of the families that have lived there. And yeah, that was quite something that ticked a box there.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, OK. What do you think?
Particularly like the stream in the garden, near the garden and the woodland.
Yeah.
Beautiful location. Ideal for a holiday home.
What did you make of the concept of dine, steam and stream? How did that work for you, the dine, steam and stream combo?
We do like sauna.
Yeah, we're great fans of saunas, actually, but in a dining room, it's not quite work for me, I don't think.
Now, what about the separate annex for rental? For 6,000 to 8,000 rent you could get from that a year?
I thought that was quite encouraging, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, because you put the whole thing together as a package and it looks quite promising. Yeah.
What about the taboo subject of the price?
Well, it's more than we wanted. Doesn't rule it out the question. Yeah, I think there are possibilities there.
OK. Well, we come to this awkward situation where you've seen 3 properties where the owners are interested in a swap, and I would therefore ask you to make a decision about which one you'd like to see in the flesh. Now, do you need time to think about it? Shall I disappear and give you some talking time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes? Then I will disappear with my tea. And see you in a second.
All right.
So, which one are they going to choose, I wonder? Well, if I was a property detective, just call me Sherlock Holmes, I think, or what would I think? I would think they're not going to go for the first one. That's my gut feeling. And therefore, the question is, are they going to swap this house in Kent for a house in Yorkshire, or are they going to swap this house in Kent for a house in Kent? And I think they're going to swap it for a house in Kent. While Ronnie and Catherine weigh up the pros and cons...
You couldn't really want for a better tourist place, which is really what we were looking for.
Sunita, our property advisor, has some advice. Sunita's been a property negotiator for over 10 years, helping hundreds of clients move onwards and upwards.
If you want to move house quickly, then house swapping could be the answer. Now, there are several websites out there that could help you find your perfect match. You will, of course, still have to have a HIPS report, and you will be paying stamp duty. But, crucially, you get to avoid a chain, and if you're not on with an estate agent, you avoid estate agent fees.
Sunita's invaluable knowledge will help our swappers negotiate a deal. Which one have you decided?
Well, we haven't made up our minds yet.
You haven't made up your minds yet?
No.
It partly depends on finance.
Yeah.
What's your heart telling you?
Skipton.
Skipton?
Yeah.
And then what's your brain telling you?
Lenham.
Ah. So what are you going to follow, your heart or your brain?
On balance, we would like to see the Skipton house.
You're going to see the Skipton house. And do you know what you've done by choosing the Skipton house?
What?
Do you know what you've done? You've only got to make me wrong. I thought you would go for the one in Kent.
Right.
All right, there you go.
So there you go. Interesting. Right, well, I'm very excited. It's off to Skipton you go.
Right.
And I hope the swap is everything you want it to be.
OK.
Enjoy it very much.
Right.
So, despite it being over their budget, Ronnie and Catherine have gone with their hearts and chosen Nicholas and Jill's old sawmill in Skipton, West Yorkshire. It's time to swap homes for the day. Ronnie and Catherine are off to Skipton to see if the gateway to the Dales is the right spot for a holiday cottage with rental potential. Whilst Nicholas and Jill head down south to the eco home near Canterbury. They have the chance to exchange lifestyles for the day before they decide if a permanent swap is on the cards. On the edge of the Yorkshire Dales, Skipton is the perfect location for a country holiday. It could also be the ideal place for a new venture for Catherine and Ronnie.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Oh, look, the old sawmill. 1785. I didn't realise it was that old.
Incredible, isn't it? See, I look at this and I don't think, isn't it quaint, isn't it cute? I look at it and I think all the people that have sort of, strolled past here over the hundreds of years, the centuries. And that's what I love about old properties. It's just the history that it's steeped in. It's fantastic.
And while they take in the historic atmosphere, almost 300 miles down south, Nicholas and Jill are exploring a brave new world in Kent.
How do you do, Dad? It's Nick and Jill.
Builder Dan is here to give them the keys and the techno lowdown.
I love the solar panels.
They're two different types. Why is that?
This one here at the front is for the electric, which produces about 3 kilowatts.
I see.
And then one's over there for the hot water system.
For the hot water, I see.
Yeah. And when you're not using that amount of power, then they put back into National Grid.
Right.
And then they reimburse you to a certain amount.
So this house can even make you money.
There you go.
Fine, well, thank you very much, Dan. Most grateful.
I love the feel of it.
It is very, very nice. It's very much open plan living. Oh, right. Oh, that's very nice. Well, Fanny, we hope that you will have a very enjoyable day in Canterbury. Thank you for sharing your beautiful home with us. And what have we got here? It's a wine from Kent. That's interesting. Well, we'll enjoy that.
Yes. We don't get any Yorkshire wine, do we?
I don't think so.
Anything's possible with global warming, Nicholas. Now, how are the eco-crusaders getting on up north?
Impressive.
It's a bit different to what we're building, isn't it?
Might be difficult to heat in the winter.
Yeah.
Ah, that terrace looks lovely. Should we go and have a look?
No sooner have they arrived and our nature lovers are straight back out again.
You can hear the birds, can't you? Oh, the river is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so peaceful here, isn't it? With the birds and the sound of the water.
Nature's handiwork seems to be pleasing Catherine, but will her own creation get the approval down south?
Yes. It's a lovely design, actually.
Yeah, I like the colour.
This is granite here. These surfaces are granite, Jill.
Yeah,
which is
really.
very nice. Very high-tech. I think you could rustle up some good meals in here.
And there's more to see upstairs.
So we've got a main family bathroom here. These are very much reminiscent of a good Italian
Yes,
apartment, really.
Yes,
you know.
yes.
This is the main bedroom.
Yeah, this is
I
lovely.
say.
Well, if he likes that, wait till he sees the ensuite.
It's quite stunning. I don't know how to deal with this. Oh, here we go.
It's a shower, but you can actually sit.
There'll be jets of water shooting out.
Did I sit down? You sit down
You
here?
can sit there. I think you'd get jets of water there because it's fully enclosed.
Some sort of hydrotherapy
Yes,
experience.
It's fantastic. It's an experience.
Yeah.
You're right.
Let's hope it comes with an instruction booklet.
That's great.
Up north, Ronnie and Catherine have something on their minds.
Yeah, that goes all the way down to the river.
It's not the layout of the house or paint choices.
Yes, we were just wondering who owns this section of the river and whether or not you could have some hydroelectricity from the stream there.
They've sorted out its green credentials, but what about that separate holiday cottage?
I really like the...
Gallery scene.
Yeah, it just everything works. It's contemporary with that kind of rustic look, which is whoever designed it's done a brilliant job.
Yeah.
They really have.
I love this.
Yeah. So I mean, this is set up. There's nothing more to do at all.
This would be ready to go today.
Yeah.
Just as they hoped, it's proving to be an ideal holiday let. Back in Kent,
A lot of high-tech gizmos here.
and it looks like Nicholas is trying to join the 21st century.
Foam insulation, so it's obviously a very warm house.
Wonderful.
It's very latest technology from a point of view of the timber frame.
Yeah.
Lower humidity, that'll appeal to you.
Definitely.
A central vacuum cleaner, what's that all about?
I mean, this does the vacuuming for me.
Sadly, Jill, it's not that clever.
Gosh. OK. Well, that was an interesting insight. Still don't understand quite what everything here does, but nevertheless...
Keen to find out more about life in the Yorkshire Dales, Catherine and Ronnie take the time to speak to one of the neighbours.
Yeah, come through.
How long have you lived here yourself?
We've lived here 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And what's it like here in peak season when there's lots of tourists around?
The high street gets very busy, but because you're only sort of 5 minutes walk from
It's
the high
not an
street,
issue,
you
is
don't
it?
go down
Yeah.
in the car. You know, we've been up to the Lake District on holidays and this kind of thing, and we've come back and we think, well, why did we go away?
Yes.
You know, it's a lot. It's lovely. Just sat around and so peaceful. Fabulous spot. Absolutely superb.
Thank you. That's been very helpful.
Not a problem.
Nicholas and Jill are out and about too. Having checked out the house, it's time to see that added extra.
Of course, we'd have to think about what would you do with an acre of woodland?
We would have family picnics, put a bench in it.
A bench?
Yeah.
Yes.
Build a little summer house if we're allowed to.
Yeah.
This is very beautiful woodland, isn't it?
Yes.
It's,
very well established.
yeah.
From tranquil forests in Kent to busy streets in Skipton. And because the old mill is well over budget, Ronnie and Catherine want to find out the money-making potential of the property and the holiday cottage.
We were just wondering what the demand is sort of all year round. Obviously, high season, it's very busy.
I mean, we have a number of properties in Skipton, and they can sell up to 35 weeks a year.
So your advice for anyone will be that it's good to invest in Skipton?
Absolutely, and it's a great time to do it at the moment.
Just a half-hour walk from the Eco House, it's historic Canterbury. What will Nicholas and Jill make of the cathedral city?
Oh, look. Canterbury Pilgrims Hospital.
It's really nice just to be in a town with old things like this.
Are we on a pilgrimage, Jill?
Yes. Yes.
And their pilgrimage is taking them 7 miles north to see something else they're looking for from a move. The sea.
Yeah, looks okay, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Is that an oyster shell?
Yes, it is.
So, as the one-day swap draws to a close, could a permanent swap be on the cards?
In the long term, this is a very good project and could be very good for us. And
Yes.
it's a lovely home.
From that point of view, it's 10 out of 10. It really is good.
What do you think of today?
I think it's a lovely area. It's beautiful. Everything's absolutely right. It's like jumping forward 50 years when we sort of have an eco house with a wild woodland.
Oh.
I think it could definitely adapt to it.
I think we've got to modernise one day, Jill, you and
That's
I.
right, that's right.
Having swapped homes and lifestyles for a day, there's a lot for everyone to consider. But will they decide to swap homes for good? Our couples have sampled what might well be their dream swaps, but now comes the tricky part. Can a deal be done? There's no telling how many miles you'll have to run chasing your dream, but to make the going a little easier, here's our negotiator, Sunita. Sunita Shroff has been helping people find their dream properties and agree the best price for them for over 10 years. She'll be using her expertise to negotiate a deal for our swappers.
Negotiating can be a tricky and even emotional process, and the properties won't necessarily be valued at the same price. So it's my job to get both sides to agree on a fair and realistic price to swap. But house swapping isn't all about the money. It's about avoiding that awful chain, potentially avoiding the estate agent's fees, and of course of months of your property being on the market. So if both sides are prepared to negotiate, they could walk away with a great deal.
So let's remind ourselves of what Sunita has to bargain with. Ronnie and Catherine would like to swap one of the 5 eco houses they've developed, which comes with an acre of woodland valued at £625,000. They're looking for a country property that they can use and rent out. Nicholas and Jill have the 6-bed old mill, which comes with a 2-bed cottage used for holiday rentals. Total value £725,000. They want to move south and get a bit closer to the sea. So, first things first, what's the feedback?
Christian showed you some properties, and you could have gone with what your head told you, which was to go with Kent, or you could have gone with what your heart was telling you. You went with your heart. So why was that?
I mean, you fell in love with the immediate location yourself, didn't you?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. It's right on the river and surrounded by majestic trees.
Yeah.
So it's idyllic.
Talk me through the property itself, the old sawmill.
It's a historic building, so that can be quite attractive for holiday letting.
If you wanted to go on holiday and you wanted to go to the Downs, where would you go? Well, Skipton.
OK, now you were looking to move from Yorkshire down to the south of England. Now tell me about the property itself, because it was an eco property, which is it's quite unusual.
It was wonderful inside. I liked every single feature. I liked every single little bit of thinking. The design was wonderful.
You know, to see a purpose-built eco house with the very, very latest technology was quite fascinating. I mean, it was an eye-opener for us.
So far, so good. But what about the cons?
It needs some updating.
Yes, you look at it and you think, potential. There's just so much potential there. But again, there's actually quite a lot of money to be spent on it. You need really new bathrooms. You need at least one new kitchen. You're looking probably at about a £25,000 to £30,000 investment there to do all that.
We'd have to put in considerable finance before we had a return.
They're right that they need to spend quite a bit of money on a house. It could actually do fantastic things with it. It could be a really fantastic house.
And what about the negatives?
We would prefer a bigger garden.
Now, there is an acre of woodland.
Yes, what would one do with it? Would you spend time in it? Probably not.
I think you would. I think you would spend time in it, but...
It would need to be looked into.
Time to talk money. Ronnie and Catherine's eco-property is valued at £625,000, but they fell for the old sawmill at £725,000. What do they think is a fair price to swap?
We would be happy to swap at the same value.
You've got to look at all the work that's got to be done to it. That's from our point of view.
OK. I mean, that's certainly something I can put to them.
So, despite the old sawmill being valued at £100,000 more than the eco-house, they think it should be a straight swap. But what will Nicholas and Jill make of that?
The eco-property, it was valued initially at £675,000 and they dropped the asking price down to £625,000.
Yes, it's a good valuation at 625.
I think 6 to 625.
As far as your property went, they feel if there were to be a straight swap, they would be quite happy with that.
How interesting. My own gut feeling is that we did develop the cottage. We're getting £500 a week.
Yeah.
And we're getting pretty solidly booked up through the summer. So we were hoping that the loss of income that we get would be compensated by incoming equity with the house swap.
And how much equity would you like to release, ideally?
Well, I think we were talking in terms of our house having a value of 725 and the eco house of 625. So about 100k.
At least 100,000.
No, 100k.
Nicholas and Jill have rejected the offer of a straight swap. They're looking for a £100,000 differential. So how will Ronnie and Catherine react to this news?
They felt that they couldn't accept that.
I think the problem is that with the decline in property prices, it has impacted quite a lot on us because we have 5 properties.
I think also just as a financial proposition that does sound too much.
Do you think there is anywhere for us to go with this?
I think the pricing could be more realistic.
The thing is, they are already letting one part of it out for 500, so you could still, whilst one part's being let out, the other part you could do bits of work to.
But that's fine, but we would have a mortgage to pay.
So, before I go back up to them, I just need to clarify, because actually I don't think 0's fair and I don't think 100,000's fair. I think ideally somewhere in the middle, but if not, at least some form of a gesture.
What do you think?
I think £10,000 is a gesture.
Yeah.
OK, so I went back to Ronnie and Catherine with your first offer on the table of 100,000 differential, and it was a no.
But yes, OK, I understand.
They were suggesting a differential of 0, but they managed to find 10,000 as their second offer.
It obviously sounds... You see, we were quite surprised. I thought you would perhaps come up with something like 70,000 or something like that. So the fact you've only come back with something like 10,000, really, we find it quite difficult to know how to respond to that.
They would definitely strike the better deal if we did a deal at 10,000. They would strike a very good deal. We would not.
Time to catch up with Sunita.
At the moment, they are both being very stubborn and they just won't budge.
OK, but they could be calling each other's bluff.
They could.
So you have to push them a bit.
Yes.
Push, use both hands. All right.
I think this differential they're coming up with, the 10,000, is one that we would lose out from.
I feel is quite low.
Yes.
personally, my gut feeling would be a £50,000 differential. You need to think about that. You need to think whether that's worth it for you, the lifestyle change, the move from Skipton to Canterbury, and just assess everything.
Yes.
They still felt that was just too low for them.
That's a disappointment. We've got quite excited about the project, and in our minds we've done it.
Mentally, we're half done it.
You know,
I've put an offer on the table and they're going to think about it, and this is what I want to ask you to do as well. Final offer I've put on the table is a £50,000 differential, and they're going to think about it to see whether they can drop that much, and, you know, and I want you to think about it as well.
So, after 4 hours of negotiation, Sunita has put a deal on the table. The eco house plus £50,000 for the old sawmill. The swap would allow Ronnie and Catherine to set up a new holiday let, while Nicholas and Jill could make that move south and get closer to the sea. But will they go for it? So, I think, guys, I met you first. I think it's only fair. Turn the key in 3, 2, 1. I'm phobic of the colour red. Right, not here. So this could be very disappointing if we have a deal over here. Guys, in 3, 2, 1... It's amicable. I'll give it that. It's amicable. Why two not? Because I mean, unless I've got this completely wrong, you love each other's properties.
If we sell the house in a couple of 3 weeks' time, that would change our balance, and we could go and come back. But that, in our financial cycle, that's where we are at the moment. So.
Okay. And is it also financial for you guys?
To some extent it is, yes. I mean, it was a most interesting experience to see your house, but in the present circumstances we need to derive some income from where we live.
Would you still be open to negotiations if they came back and said, right, we're in a different position now?
Yes, we most certainly would, yes, sure.
Yeah, so we could turn these keys green yet.
Could do. Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting. Well, I have to thank you both for allowing us to see your beautiful properties, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
It was with a heavy heart that we actually had to turn that key, and I'd like to think that we'll be able to convert that to a green key. We shall see.
in the near future.
Yes.
Ronnie did come back and mention that if he concludes the sale of one of the other houses on the development, then he might come back to us with a new offer. So that was very interesting. We'll certainly be interested in that.
Well, that's such a shame their dreams couldn't be realised. But I say, when your dreams turn to dust, vacuum and try again. And try again we will. So I'll see you next time on House Swap. What do you do when you're desperate to move but you just can't sell your house? It's been on the market for months and all the viewings have dried up. Well, what you do is you stop selling and start swapping. House swapping is the latest trend to hit the property world. With around 10,000 properties registered with swap websites, it's a brilliant way to avoid the dreaded property chain and make that move onwards. We'll be meeting people who want to swap their home permanently.
I work in Derby at the moment, so I've been driving about 100 miles a day.
And we'll show them 3 properties to find their perfect match.
Hi.
Welcome to our house.
Today I'm going to show you around. If you'd like to swap, we'll chat soon.
After a day spent road testing each other's properties and lifestyles, we'll bring them to the negotiating table where our straight-talking negotiator, Sunita, will help them thrash out a deal.
In a way, you've kind of outpriced yourself a little bit.
Before we find out if they'll swap homes for good. Today, we're basing ourselves in Retford, a small market town in somewhere. You see, of course I know where it is. I got here okay. I looked on a map, and it claims to be in Nottinghamshire. But if you live here, your phone number goes into the Lincolnshire phone book, and your postcode is from South Yorkshire. So I'm not really sure where we are. But I do know there are 2 house swappers who want to leave here, wherever here may be. Yes, countryside lovers Caitlin, Pete and Henry the horse all live in the quiet village of Leverton just outside of Retford. But with Pete's job over an hour away, they're looking to swap and maybe make a bit of a move up that property ladder. So that's Pete and Caitlin, this is me, and that's the house they're wanting to swap. And just in case you were wanting to know, it's this chunk just about there. Hopefully that's working for you on your TV screens. There you go, I'm tickling the side walls as we speak. But rather than me standing here showing off my impressive dexterity, why don't we go in and have a snoop around? Ah, now, I've seen one of these before in my times. This is a lounge, and it's a good size because you've got a lot of chunky furniture in here, and yet there still feels like there's a lot of space. I'm rudely blocking out the main focal point, this fire here, which looks like quite a recent addition with the log burner there. But what this gives us is a superb positioning space for a picture of Henry the horse. However, I don't think he's looking that happy in that picture. A little long in the face, dare I say. That's horses for you. Here we have the dining kitchen, or kitchen diner, depending which way you access the room first. A lot of space in here, a lot of light, nicely laid out, and I would say a relatively new kitchen with, fancy soft closing drawers. I'm heading upstairs, and you're more than welcome to join me. Because upstairs we have a good-sized master bedroom. And a smaller guest bedroom. And the essential, although not terribly modern, bathroom. And finally, now this is currently being used as an office, but would also make a superb bedroom as there's so much light and space in here. And in fact, look at all the space for the horses' prizes. Personally, I find it a little vulgar to be so showy about one's achievements. Right, should we take a look at the garden? Now, this green space offers everything for the gardening enthusiast, from lawn, patio, raised beds and ordinary beds. There's something for everyone. Pete and Caitlin's 3-bed terrace house has been valued at £125,000. Caitlin and Pete, I've been round your home and I've looked hard and I can find nothing wrong with it. In fact, I would say it's gorgeous. So why, therefore, are you wanting to leave it?
Well, it's not quite where we want it to be.
Right.
It's the location, really.
So what's the deal with location, then? Where would you want to move?
Yeah, well, I work in Derby at the moment, so I've been driving about 100 mile a day. So it'd be nice to sort of cut that journey down a bit.
And would that work for you as well, if to move a bit closer to Pete's work?
Yeah, I'm starting a new job in September, which is south of where we live now. So if we could find somewhere that's vaguely in between the two locations, that would be perfect.
Henry?
Yes.
The horse?
He's important.
He is important. I have to be honest, housing horses is not my forte.
No.
What would I need to know? What do we need to,
Well, it's just somewhere rural, because lots of villages seem to have yards where you can keep horses.
So what's this on the market for, and how much would you like to swap for? What kind of value?
Well, it's on for 125 at the moment, so we think we can probably get for about 180.
Yeah.
OK, you're kind of flexible about that.
Yeah.
So I now have 3 houses to show you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. First up, location-wise, we are going to Carlton in Nottingham.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Heard of it.
Heard of it?
Yep.
Here goes property 1.
Hi, my name's Peter, and welcome to my 3-bed Victorian semi on the edge of Carlton in Nottingham. And today I'm going to show you around. I bought it in quite a bad state. Did it all up myself. It's got still quite a few original Victorian features. I live here with my dog, Jimmy. Right, this is the lounge. Best part for me is the square bay. It creates quite a bit of space. Obviously, you've got the gas fire as well. In winter, you can create quite a cosy feel. I've opened the lounge and dining room up to create more of an open feel. This is the kitchen. I fitted the kitchen myself. It's a great place to entertain, as you can be cooking and you've got your guests chill out there. Into the bathroom. I've tried to make this look as Victorian as possible with a roll-top bath. On the left here, there's the second bedroom. Quite a large bedroom, actually, a double. And you've got the cast iron Victorian fireplace, which is still installed. And into my bedroom, the master. Exceedingly large bedroom, 17 foot plus. They've got the cane doctor's chair, which in 8 years is probably the second time I've actually sat in here. So that's yours if you want it. Right, this is the 3rd floor. It's a very large bedroom. There's easily enough room for a double bed. In the next couple of months, this will be decorated and that will be included with the price of the house. Right, into the garden. There you've got the new lawn area and this decking area at the back, which is great in summertime for barbecues and just for lounging about. The amenities around the local area are fantastic. We're very close to Nottingham town centre, but on the other hand, we've got the countryside, literally a 2-minute drive, the River Trent, and many nice walks. The last official valuation for this property was for $189,950.
Peter's 3-bed Victorian semi in Carlton, Nottinghamshire, has modern interiors and a lovely garden. So what would he like from a swap?
I'm looking to move to a different area with my girlfriend, and for me to do that, I need to swap this house for a smaller property as an investment to rent out. I hope you like the house as much as I do. If you'd like to swap with me, please be in touch.
So, what did we think?
Yeah, it was nice.
Nicely decorated, wasn't it? Looks like they've done quite a lot with it.
Yeah, I like the wooden floors.
OK, I can tell you that our research said it will take, Caitlin, it'll take you half an hour to get to work in Newark.
Right.
That's not too bad.
Which means it would take you half an hour, Pete, to get to your work.
No, that certainly would be a lot better for me.
There are stables about 4 miles away where you could put Henry the horse.
That's not too bad.
Yeah?
OK.
Do you want to see another one?
Yes, please.
We're now going to Kirkhallam. It's in Derbyshire.
Oh, OK.
Hello, we're Sue and Roger. Welcome to our house.
This is the lounge and dining room. As you can see, it's a through room, which gives it a lot of light and the feeling of space. But also, it's quite a cosy lounge. This is the kitchen. This was the original size of the kitchen when the house was built. And obviously, having the extension now has made the kitchen an awful lot bigger. And this was the garage. As you can see now, it's not a garage anymore. It's our playroom, toy room, office. I've got 2 granddaughters. It is a great house for children. This is upstairs with got 3 good-sized bedrooms. There's the smaller bedroom that is quite a good guest bedroom. This is the master bedroom that's got a very comfy bed in. I don't like getting up in the morning. And the orange bathroom, which I like. This is the medium-sized bedroom. And now Roger is going to show you the outside of the house.
Probably the best thing about this garden is easy maintenance. We have a grassed area, a patio area. We've had plenty of parties and barbecues on there. We've got the ferret, say hello Trixie, who Vince likes to torment, because he's free and she isn't. And then we'll go around the side. One of the best things about the house is the parking. We've got room for maybe 3-4 cars on here. We obviously use it for the caravan. We love caravanning, and of course the Peak District is less than an hour, so that's an easy weekend.
We live halfway between Nottingham and Derby, and also we are quite convenient for the M1. We would like to move on because I want to be a lot closer to my grandchildren who live in Nottinghamshire.
Nottinghamshire is also my place of work now, and it will be good to move there. Makes life easier work-wise. We've brought the price of the house down 3 times since it's been on the market. It now stands at $124,950.
Sue and Roger's 3-bed semi in Kirkhallam, Derbyshire has a large off-street parking area and a garden. So what do they want from their swap?
The type of house that we're looking for obviously has to be within budget and nearer to Newark.
Apart from that, the style of the house is not that important to us. OK, that was our house. Hope you want to swap.
If you do want to swap, get in touch.
Right, thanking them greatly. First up, location. I think we should use the map.
Yes.
That's miles for you.
That does seem a really long way.
It'd be great for me. Yeah,
Yes.
this would be,
Look at the smile on that face. That's brilliant. On the plus side, after a long week of commuting for you, there would be the fact that you're only 20 minutes from the Dales.
That
going
is,
to
yeah.
Matlock.
Which would be good.
What about the house?
I think the decor wasn't quite our taste.
Well, I think, yeah, you can see past that, can't you? Because we did with this, and, yeah, you can soon take wallpaper off.
Yeah. So, a third property.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to Grantham.
Ah, okay.
Right, that's,
Here we go.
Hi, my name's Tony and this is my wife Sue. Welcome to Grantham.
Would you like to come and have a look around our house?
It's a modern 3-bedroom detached house.
As you come through the front door, through the porch, you come into the living room.
And one of the features of this is obviously a very light room with a bow window to the front. Now, as you can see, this is the kitchen, and at this stage, I think I'd be wisest to hand over to my wife, Sue.
Yes, I like this kitchen. Got the 5-ring hob, which is very handy. And our very favourite apparatus is the dishwasher, so none of us have to bother washing up, which is brilliant.
This is the bedroom that me and Sue use, and as you can see, there's a lot of storage. It's a very light room and we like it because obviously we've got nice views of the garden. This is our second bedroom and it's on the front elevation. And we're now in the third bedroom and we use this mainly as my office.
This is a family bathroom with a fitted furniture, semi-cast top basin, back-to-wall pan. We've got the bath here with a shower over and a folding shower screen to save space.
10 years ago when we bought the house, this was just a rough patch of land, and one of the first things we did, we put this landscaping for really easy maintenance. As you can see, I've got a small greenhouse which I grow tomatoes, and it's a place where I can hide if I want to get away from Sue.
Which he often does. He won't let me touch the tomatoes at all. He's quite proud of them. But I do the rest of the garden, keep it tidy, put the plants in and things. When the weather isn't so good, then we can come in here into the conservatory, which we do spend a lot of time in. It's a nice light room for the summer, but we also use it in the winter as well, of course.
Well, Grantham, it's right on the A1, so access to north and south is very, very easy. And what we like about our particular house, in 5 minutes we're in National Trust land and there's some glorious walks. So, yeah, it's a rural location, really. We understand from a local estate agent that the current valuation on this property is £164,950.
Tony and Sue's 3-bed detached in Grantham has that great conservatory and a landscape garden. So, what's their ideal swap?
We'd obviously be sorry to leave this property, but we're very anxious at our age to downsize and hopefully be able to clear our mortgage.
We're quite flexible. We'll look and keep an open mind, really. There's nothing that we wouldn't consider. Well, that's our house.
And we hoped you liked it, and if you'd like to swap, we'll chat soon. Bye.
Bye.
There you go.
I quite liked that one.
Grantham, map check.
Oh,
Let's
yep.
do it very
Might
quickly.
be on a different page now. This
Oh,
might,
that-
this might
They
throw
mentioned A1, and anything next to the A1 is good for my commute and for yours.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yes! Yes! Excellent. That's good. Let's talk about the house. Style-wise, there's nothing really there to offend, I didn't think.
No.
Garden, I thought was divine.
It was lovely.
I really like that. It looks a little bit easier to maintain than ours, which is good, because we probably haven't got as much time now with working longer hours. So.
Right, OK. I think it would only be polite now if I disappeared off and gave you some thinking time. I'm going to leave you with my notes. I'm going to leave you with your...
With my lovely map.
Your well-loved map, and I will come back shortly and find out which one you would like to see in the flesh and do a temporary swap with.
OK. Thank you very much.
Ready?
Yep.
Time starts now. There you go, 3 very plausible properties and 3 very plausible options. And I'm excited about that because poor old Caitlin and Pete have been wanting to move now for, what, 7 months? And I think a house swap is a real viable option to get things moving again. In terms of the 3 properties and the one they like most, well, I think it's very hard to say because I think all 3 of them are, level pegging. Collective groan from all. Yes. While Pete and Caitlin weigh up the pros and cons...
And it was really nice. I like the
garden. Lovely, isn't it?
Sunita, our house swap negotiator, has some advice. Sunita's been a property negotiator for over 10 years, helping hundreds of clients move onwards and upwards.
If you want to move house quickly, then house swapping could be the answer. Now, there are several websites out there that could help you find your perfect match. You will, of course, still have to have a HIPS report and you will be paying stamp duty. But, crucially, you get to avoid a chain, and if you're not on with an estate agent, you avoid estate agent fees.
Sunita's invaluable knowledge will help our swappers negotiate a deal. But first, we need to find out who Pete and Caitlin have decided to swap with. Right, I was starting to take root in the garden, so I've come back. Which one is it?
Number 3, please.
I think number 3, yeah.
OK. So what was it about the detached property with the garden, conservatory, dishwasher that convinced you that was the right one?
I like the conservatory. I think that's something that we've not had.
Nice.
Yeah, quite nice to sit out there, wouldn't it?
You're going to do your temporary swap day. Have fun. I look forward to the results.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Pete and Caitlin have gone with Tony and Sue's detached house in Grantham. Let's hope they like it. Pete and Caitlin are off to Grantham, Lincolnshire, to see if the location and the house will be the right move for them and Henry the horse. Whilst Tony and Sue head to the village of Leverton in Retford to see if the terrace could be the house to downsize to. They have the chance to exchange lifestyles for the day before they decide if a permanent swap is on the cards. 20 minutes closer to Pete's work near Derby, the market town of Grantham is set in some stunning countryside, ideal for horse riding. So could Tony and Sue's modern detached be just the home for our young couple to swap to?
There we go.
That'll test your handbrake. Right, you ready?
Yeah. After you.
Ooh.
That's lovely. Kind of nice just to be all decorated already.
Yes.
There's plenty of space for our furniture and stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, the sofa could go.
The sofa would go along there and an armchair there, so it's a really, really light and nice room, isn't it?
Cool.
30 miles north in Retford, and Tony and Sue are set to see what the terraced house has to offer.
This looks nice. You can park off-road, so...
Yeah, off-road parking. Have you got the key?
Yeah, let's go and have a look. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wood burner?
Yep. That's a nice sized room because it's nice and square. We'd get our furniture in here.
Yeah.
I might have to get rid of one chair, but that's downsizing anyway, so...
Yeah. Shall we move on?
And moving on in Grantham, they discover double glazing salesman Tony's pride and joy.
Oh, conservatory.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like this.
Oh, this is lovely.
Oh, that's really nice.
Oh, yeah. I think this would be a room we're in a lot.
Yeah.
Like sort of being
I think we'd be
outside.
here.
Yeah, you could have the doors open and sit out on the...
Yeah, that's a nice room.
It's nice to have a conservatory, isn't it?
Isn't it just? And it doesn't take Tony long to notice that's exactly what's missing from the house in Retford.
Oh, this is all right.
We've obviously got the conservatory and we've got space here to actually put something exactly the same as what we've got.
Quick work, this man could sell a conservatory to himself.
They just go whoosh and open right back to here. Ours is 3 metres wide. Sliding door, side panels, French doors, 3.7. So I know a man who could do this.
That wouldn't be you by any chance, would it, Tony? Back in Grantham, and we're on to the kitchen.
It's very similar to ours, isn't it? We've got the same handles. Yeah, it's smaller than our kitchen, but it's actually probably got the same amount of cupboards as ours has.
Ooh, dishwasher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a look at the dishwasher?
Yeah,
Wow.
Whatever turns you on. In the Retford kitchen, and our couple's similar style is not lost on Sue.
It's similar colourings to ours, isn't it?
It is, almost identical.
Plenty of storage.
Yeah, there is. That's one of these pull-outs that you
Yeah.
know about.
Yeah. Nice dining area as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Oh, and the garden.
Yeah, the view of the garden.
Oh, that's a nice size as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Marvellous. But will that landscape garden impress in Grantham?
Oh, this is nice.
That's lovely. Yeah, look how private that is, just
Yeah.
having the...
But yeah, that's a lot more private than ours.
This is a nice area. Sitting up with a barbecue and that.
Yeah, let's have a look at the greenhouse.
Yeah, see if the tomatoes are as good as yours then.
He'll be amazed when he sees my greenhouse.
Nothing indicates the status of a man quite like a greenhouse.
Oh, here you go. That's all right.
a better sized greenhouse, isn't it?
Yeah, yours is too big.
Sounds like they're green with envy.
Someone
Those
obviously
tomato
knows how to
plants
grow
look good.
tomatoes better than I do.
Yeah, they look really
Mine are
good.
still
don't
about
they?
that big, aren't they?
Yeah.
Marrows and cucumbers. Not a tomato inside.
No.
Surely they can't be that small.
Oh, they're tomatoes, aren't they?
Alice and Patricia. Never heard of her.
In the gardening world, that's a funny joke. Time to concede defeat in the garden and check out the upstairs.
Same size as our box room, isn't it? Just a different shape.
It's good for you. Put the desk in there.
Actually, this would be quite a good study, wouldn't it, really, for us?
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's some horses up there.
Could we have found the perfect new home for Henry II? Upstairs in Retford, and the room sizes are proving to be an asset.
Oh, now this is a big bedroom.
Yeah,
Crikey.
this is very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, all sorts of options, really, isn't there?
Sadly, the same can't be said in Grantham.
It's not quite as big as our second bedroom, though, is it, in here?
Yeah, but... No, do we need it as big?
We don't really need it as big, no. Yeah, again, it's not as big.
It does make you realise how big the rooms are at ours, doesn't it?
I think we're a bit spoiled on room size, aren't we, really?
And Sue has some concerns too.
I think they'd need to put a new bathroom in.
Well, this is your job.
That's right, not only is Tony our conservatory expert, Sue designs and sells bathrooms for a living.
I think I'd consider taking the bath out and might even put a walk-in shower in there. And some new tiles, a
Yeah.
semi-countertop basin, and put some fitted furniture in.
Yeah, perhaps we'll just leave her to it. Meanwhile, over in Grantham, Caitlin and Pete are thinking for three. They need to find a home for Henry the horse.
We're just having a look round because I've got a 17-hand horse that I need to find some livery for.
Most of the horses here are on a working livery.
Right,
So they're
okay.
used in the riding school.
Right.
They don't work too hard. Okay. Well, that means that you don't have to be here all the
Yeah,
time,
of
so
course.
that, you know, if you're coming back late, particularly in the winter months,
Yeah, of course.
then your horse is kept fit and exercised and clipped for you.
Yeah.
So that when you have got time to ride, you can really get you know, the most out of your riding.
Okay.
There's lots of lovely riding from here. I mean, we're really lucky. We've got permissive bridleways out that way, and then there's standard bridleways. You can get up onto the heath up there, which is lovely.
But what's it like for learning as sort of adults? Is there
Yes,
many
well, we do
classes?
lessons. Obviously, we
Right.
do lessons
Yeah.
here for adults.
And Pete, you can have one right away. Introducing the simulator. Now, you weren't expecting that, were you?
That's all right, Andy.
Anyway, enough of the horseplay. In Retford, Tony and Sue have also made it out of the house, and with Tony's foot on the accelerator, the car's doing a galloping 25 miles per hour, and they're ready to explore.
That's a nice conservatory. I didn't sell it, but there you go. Can't sell them all.
Once a salesman, always a salesman. But it's not just conservatories on Tony's mind.
Got to find the pub. That's one of the main priorities.
That's right.
Looks like he might be in luck, and the pub is always a great place to chat with some locals.
All right, thinking of joining us?
Yeah, possibly.
Well, if you do, of course, you'll be the newest member of the village and meet one of the, not the oldest gentlemen, but he's been here as long as anybody, since birth.
Yeah?
And I think his family's been here about...
250 years.
Yeah.
150 years.
God.
Yeah. How long have you been at the pub, Ron?
Well, I've been here 2 years, but before that I was relieving for the previous landlord. The people in the pub were so nice, and when I was given the opportunity of taking this pub, it was mainly that influenced me. But anything you want doing, there's always somebody who'll help you.
Yeah. They're into what you can't get in this pub, isn't it?
No, they're in pub. You'll be accepted straight away.
Yeah, good.
So that's a box ticked for Tony. Meanwhile, Caitlin and Pete are chomping at the bit to take a look around Grantham.
Oh, look, Margaret Thatcher's birthplace.
Oh, nice.
And another of Grantham's big attractions is Belton House, a 17th century country house with fabulous gardens.
Shall we move here?
That'd be a good house swap. Do you think we can afford the change in price there?
I think we would. I don't think we could afford a window cleaner.
Perhaps they'll just do a straight swap.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, of course they will. And piggies will fly too. Meanwhile, Tony and Sue have discovered Leverton's biggest fan.
Welcome to North Leverton Windmill.
Thank you. Lovely, thank you.
This windmill's 196 years old, and it's still producing flour the same way it would have done all those years ago.
It's so peaceful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Could do with double glazing though, John.
Is this man never off duty? So, as the one-day swap draws to a close, are our couples in love with their potential new homes?
No, I've liked this. I think it's been nice.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Nice area, nice house.
And the people have been really friendly, haven't they?
They have been friendly, yeah.
Obviously, there was some things we needed to do to the house, so we can just look at the finances and have a discussion, really, can't we?
There's a lot for everyone to consider, but I have just one question. Is a permanent swap on the cards? If opportunity doesn't come knocking, then build a door. Or better still, take two fully built houses, both with doors, and give the couples inside the chance of a permanent swap. That's an opportunity, and one I think we should pursue. So let the swap negotiations commence under the watchful eye of Sunita. Sunita Shroff has been helping people find their dream properties and agree the best price for them for over 10 years. She'll be using her expertise to negotiate a deal for our swappers.
Negotiating can be a tricky and even emotional process, and the properties won't necessarily be valued at the same price. So it's my job to get both sides to agree on a fair and realistic price to swap. But house swapping isn't all about the money. It's about avoiding that awful chain, potentially avoiding the estate agent's fees, and of course of months of your property being on the market. So if both sides are prepared to negotiate, they could walk away with a great deal.
So let's remind ourselves of what Sunita has to bargain with. Caitlin and Pete have the three-bed terraced house in Retford, valued at £125,000, but they can extend their budget. They want to move closer to both Pete and Caitlin's work and take a step up the property ladder. Tony and Sue have the three-bed detached house in Grantham, valued at just under £165,000. They're looking to downsize to release some equity as they approach retirement. So, first things first, what's the feedback?
OK, Pete and Caitlin, what did you both think?
Yeah, it was lovely.
Yeah, it was good,
really
actually.
Nice
It's a detached, so it was quite nice to... We're in a terrace at the moment, so it's nice to go and look at a detached house and think maybe moving up and...
Yeah, we had a lovely conservatory.
So what's the area like for Henry the horse?
It seems pretty good, because, I mean, even from the upstairs window, you could see there were some horses just up on the hill, so...
Yeah, that would be ideal. We could wave to him.
Tony and Sue, you went on a house swap day with Caitlin and Pete's property. What did you think?
Well, it was on the edge of the village, which was a good point, because from upstairs you were looking onto open fields, which was a definite plus.
It's a nice village, and the people seem very friendly.
The room sizes throughout were good, weren't they?
They were really good.
You know, and that's one thing we noticed. Most rooms were larger.
You're obviously thinking of downsizing. How does that fit in?
Well, really the word downsizing for us was financial, really. And one of the things we were looking at was to downsize the value so as we could pay off all or most of our mortgage. It's worth considering.
Good start, but what about the cons?
So, moving on to the cons, if there are any.
It did feel smaller.
Because we're sort of going to be taking out more money on the mortgage,
Mm.
and we kind of, part of us thought that if we were going to do that, we'd probably
We'd want
go
more of a
slightly
house.
bigger.
Yeah.
But then I suppose the area might be better. The detached is certainly more sought after than terraces.
I suppose the only other thing is the distance to your job.
Yeah, that's something we'll need to look into a bit more.
Yeah, my calculations say that it's just under an hour.
You're saving about 20 minutes to half an hour on what I'm doing at the moment, so it's certainly an improvement.
Which is, it's an improvement.
What about cons?
We were a little bit concerned over the age of the boiler. We're not sure about the wiring and the general central heating.
They had a few questions like the age of the boiler.
Don't think we'd have a clue, to be honest. We've got all
bought
sorts of
it.
paperwork. I'm sure we've got the answer somewhere, but I don't know. Don't know what it is.
And the electrics.
Yeah.
Again, stuff they would want to do.
Yeah, because we had an electrician in, didn't we, to modernise quite a bit. But
Yeah, we had all the electrics all surveyed as well, and that was all found to be fine. So
Perfect, that's lovely. The boiler, they weren't actually sure about, in all honesty. As far as the electrics go, they were only done a few years ago.
That's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Time to move on to the valuations.
Now, their property has been valued at $164,950. So, what do you feel that it's worth?
I mean, I suppose comparing back to our house, we were thinking that does seem quite a lot.
And ones that we've looked at in sort of similar areas, we think more around the sort of 150, 155.
Now, yours is on for 125.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably quite comparable with sort of the reduction in property prices in the area, because it seems reasonable with other houses that are on the market, doesn't it?
So, if we say theirs is worth 155,000 and yours is worth 125,000, that gives us a differential of 30,000.
Yeah.
So you would need to pay them 30,000.
Yeah.
Pete and Caitlin have put an offer on the table. £30,000 plus their terraced house for Tony and Sue's detached house in Grantham. How will they respond?
Right, shall I go on to their valuation?
Oh, yes, please.
When it comes to your property, they feel closer to 155,000, so knocking £10,000 off.
Yeah.
And with their property worth 125,000, there would be a £30,000 differential. So they would pay you £30,000.
That is wildly off the sort of figures. I don't want to sound as though we're big-headed about it, but it is extremely well fitted out. With, in fairness, better quality fittings than we would have ever been able to afford had Sue not been working for a builder's merchant. If you
the
feel
differential of 30,000 is not high enough, not to go from a mid terraced house to a detached.
We have a very large garage. They don't have a garage. We've got an Edwardian conservatory, which they haven't got. We've got fully landscaped gardens, which, in fairness, they haven't got, because ours was done professionally. So if you wanted to know what we think we should be paying for it, we would be looking around the £100,000.
So if theirs was worth to you 100,000, you would be looking for what sort of a differential?
We're looking for around £60,000.
Okay, well, I'm going to take 60,000 differential to them and see what they say.
What they say,
and you
then
have a
we
think.
we can look and see what they've come up with and take it from there, can't we?
We can.
Fine.
Yeah.
Tony and Sue have come back with a counter-offer, upping the differential to £60,000.
So, Tony and Sue feel that your property is worth To them, £100,000.
Right. Yeah. That's quite a lot less. Than,
Yes, just a bit. And their property has been valued at £164,950. They would only be prepared to drop down to 160. So that makes the differential £60,000.
Yes, that's quite
Got any
large.
lottery tickets?
That's quite large.
The thing is, they need to free up some equity, basically. Right. This is the situation they're in.
But obviously, if we went anywhere near as low as that, we would have no equity.
Well, they came to that figure because they have spent a lot of money and...
It did feel really
Oh,
nice.
it was
when
very
we
well
walked in.
kept.
Like the conservatory stood out as being a very sort of top-of-the-range
Oh,
conservatory,
yeah,
didn't it?
definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
But obviously, it doesn't have to have the beautiful spec because we'd be prepared to actually do it ourselves.
Tony and Sue, I took your offer of £6,000 differential down to Pete and Caitlin, and there's a no-go for them.
Yeah.
They realise that you've put a lot of money into it. You've got top of the range of everything, but there's only so much that it's worth to them.
But from our point of view, we've got a finished house. But unfortunately, that's come at a price.
Actually, I feel 60,000 is quite high.
Yeah.
They certainly feel it's too high. I mean, I think your finish is clearly way above anyone else's. So in a way, you've kind of outpriced yourself a little bit.
In a way, we have.
Honest.
And that's exactly what we've been told. You've probably done too much to it.
Time to catch up with Sunita.
So, Sunita, talk to me about the negotiations. What would be your prognosis? What's your gut feeling?
Right. OK, well, at the moment, we are just miles apart with the differential. One is suggesting 30,000, the other one is suggesting 60,000. Huge gap. But I think the 60,000 need to drop.
OK, worst case scenario, just playing devil's advocate, if they don't come down from 60,000, what do you think is going to happen?
Nothing is going to happen. There'll be no negotiations, no room for manoeuvre, no house swap. Deal over.
OK, so this is a very serious situation. With serious face on, I suggest you go and sort it.
The only thing I can think of is to put something on the table that may appeal to you and may appeal to them. Something not quite in the middle, but getting there. So I propose putting £40,000 on the table, leave you to think about it, mull it over, decide whether it's worth it to you. Bearing in mind you could free up equity and hopefully, if you have a little think, do your sums, see what you're prepared to accept, and I'm going to put the same down to Caitlin and Pete and see what they think.
Yeah, OK.
OK, well, it's worth thinking about.
Yeah, it is.
So, as it stands at the moment, I've put £40,000 on the table. I've left them to think about it. I'm also going to leave you to think about it and also to take into consideration the lifestyle change. You are upgrading. You'll be going to a detached house. And, of course, you've got that fabulous conservatory and garage. So it's all stuff to think about.
It is, definitely. Yeah.
So, after 4 hours of negotiation, Sunita has put a deal on the table. Pete and Caitlin's house, plus £40,000 for the house in Grantham. The deal gives Caitlin and Pete the chance to move up the property ladder and to a better location for work, while it offers Tony and Sue the opportunity to downsize financially without losing space. But will they go for it? It's decision time.
So, here we are, all together assembled. It means we're very, very near the end of the whole process. But there's been a lot of talk, and now it's time to find out if the talk has been worthwhile. So, let's turn the keys. I met you guys first. I think it's only polite. Let's turn the key, a swap or not. 3, 2, 1. Right, that's not great.
Sorry, you're not smiling.
I'm not impressed by that manoeuvre. Can you do slightly better? Do we have half a deal on the table if they were to have been green? 3, 2, 1. Well, it's a matching set, isn't it? It's a pair. If we were an antiques programme, this would be brilliant. Why was it a no from you guys?
I think it's a lovely house and we really enjoyed it, but the way it is at the moment, we really need to keep as much equity as we can to get any kind of competitive deals on a mortgage.
All right, and what about for you guys?
We were looking financially to try and get a lot lower mortgage.
OK, look, let's forget about these, shake hands, and consider it a lovely journey together. Oh, a kiss as well. See, it all works out lovely in the end, doesn't it?
We wouldn't rule it out again, that's a fact. If somebody wanted to swap, then, you know, we would look at it, wouldn't we?
Yeah. We both know what we want and probably a bit more so now, kind of what the things we're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think the negotiations are a fascinating part of the process. Some people like to make difficulties out of the opportunities, while others like to make opportunities out of the difficulties. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for watching and hope you'll join me next time on House Swap.
What do you do when you want to move but you just can't sell your house? It's been on the market for months and all the viewings have dried up. Well, what you do is you stop selling and start swapping. House swapping is the latest trend to hit the property world. With around 10,000 properties registered with swap websites, it's a brilliant way to avoid the dreaded property chain and make that move onwards. We'll be meeting people who want to swap their home permanently.
We're looking for something where perhaps we can do a little business together, bed and breakfast, something like that.
And we'll show them 3 properties to find their perfect match.
Hello. Welcome to my home.
Let me show you around.
We hope you've enjoyed our tour.
And we hope you pick us.
We'd all like to say bye-bye.
Bye.
After a day spent road testing each other's properties and lifestyles, we'll bring them to the negotiating table where our straight-talking negotiator, Sunita, will help them thrash out a deal.
I mean, it's just way, way out. I mean, I think they think that we're doing them a favour.
Before we find out if they'll swap homes for good. I'm off to Henley to meet the Knights. They love their home, but they're looking for a new life in the country with a possible business twist. Their children have grown up and flown the nest, and now they're looking for a new adventure. The Knights have spent many happy years at their Henley home, but feel it's time to move on. Jane wants to wind down her teaching career, and Paul wants to take a back seat in his business. And together they dream of a rural bed and breakfast complete with chickens. Before I meet them, I'm going to have a quick look round. So, this is Jane and Paul's house. I do so love snooping around at other people's properties. So, what have we got to swap today? Well, this gorgeous period property, you walk in through an entrance hall, downstairs WC, and then you enter this great big huge kitchen, and the ergonomics seem to work really, really well. And I love the styling. In fact, I have the very same ones at home, which must mean that Jane and Paul have impeccable taste. But this actually is about lifestyle, I'm sensing, because you can put your champagne flute nicely there as you enjoy the fact the room opens up into this very, very lovely lounge, very family-orientated, very comfy looking, and I want to be the first person ever to say this on television, a very sexy multi-fuel burner. Given. Then it opens out onto a conservatory and then the garden. All very neat, all very well presented. So downstairs working. What about upstairs? So up here we have the master bedroom. It looks very, very inviting. It's the back of the house, which I like, so it's away from the traffic. And then, very important in a master bedroom, this huge bank of wardrobes, 6 wardrobe doors there, so you can store everything from shoes, dresses, and probably Narnia as well. There's a second bedroom on the first floor. It's comfortable, if a little snug. Aha, now often when I view a bathroom, I recoil in horror because people decorate them in such ghastly, ghastly, ghastly colours. But in here, it's very plain, it's very simple, very stylish and non-offensive. And I like the shower with the rose head and the bath there. Spatially, it all works very well. I'm sensing not just a conventional attic up here, but look at this conversion. Great, got an office up here with so much light pouring in. You can use this space as another bedroom. So, that's the house. Let's have a chat with the owners. The Knights' 3-storey, 3-bedroom house in Henley has been valued at £425,000. Guys, I have had an incredibly nosy experience around your house. It's gorgeous, very, very beautiful, beautifully decorated, which leads me on to the classic property question, which is why do you want to move?
Well, I can kick off there, really. We've
Yeah.
got to a stage in our lives now where we're looking at what we're going to do over the next 10 years. We're at that age where we've done that bit in London, we've moved down to here, we love it down here, but we're looking for something where perhaps we can do a little business together, bed and breakfast, something like that.
I love people, Paul loves people. Nice people, obviously,
Right.
and I love cooking, and we just want a lifestyle change.
So something a little bit boutique-y, a little bit
Yes.
fun, a bit more semi-rural, rural, that kind of thing.
And somewhere where we can stay forever.
What would be the perfect place?
I think what we're looking for is something with about 5 or 6 bedrooms at least.
Or outbuildings.
Or outbuildings
so
we can
potential to
convert.
outbuildings.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a big house.
No.
But a nice big house obviously would
bit of
be
land,
lovely.
bit of land would be great.
And this is to do B&B?
Yes,
Yep.
yeah. Or holiday lets, if that's an option.
Obviously, when you're doing house swap, it's about being flexible, and also it's really, really good if you've got other things to barter with. If you haven't, then we'll just work with the house. But if you have other things we could throw into the mix, that would be
Funnily
great.
enough, we have a boat, which also we could throw in.
What's the boat like?
The boat is a 27-foot Seamaster, and it's moored down in Henley, so it comes with a mooring as well. And it's probably the combined worth of that would be about £15,000.
Yeah, but we've also got an apartment in London.
So is it 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom?
2 bedroom, 2 bathroom with a garage, parking.
Right, and how much is the flat worth, do you think?
It would be in the region of £400,000 in London now.
Wow, look at that. OK, so are you ready to see a fine selection of possible house swaps?
Very excited.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
This way.
Yeah, OK.
So, are you ready for this? Property number 1.
Okay.
We are going to Somerset together, and we're going to meet the Mitchells. They've been given the unique opportunity to sell their home to you, and this was their attempt.
Hello, we're the Mitchells.
And this is our house.
Why don't you come and have a look? This is our fabulous Victorian hallway. Entrance hall, gorgeous original tiles, wonderful staircase and banisters.
So this is a kitchen breakfast room, which is probably my favourite room in the house. Partly because I spend a lot of time in this room, I suppose, and also because it's got lovely views either way. You can see out onto the road. It's not really a road, it's more of a lane. It's got lovely horses clipping by, it's got people walking their dogs. It's got a lovely fireplace, lovely strip floorboards, and it's just a really homely sort of room. And then when we come through here, this is the working area of the kitchen, but again, it's just such a nice big space that we can be standing around, people cooking, chatting. And then we come over to the window, which is probably my favourite spot in the whole house, because this view is just fantastic. The field and right in the distance, the Quantop Hills. So it is sort of the heart of the house.
Our beautifully proportioned double drawing room, packed full of gorgeous original Victorian features such as the fireplaces. Loads of windows, massive big windows, south-facing, west-facing. We have double French doors over here leading to the garden. High ceilings, a Victorian house. What more could you want?
This is a pretty big house. There's 6 bedrooms. There's my mum and dad's room, but they can show you that. Now in here is one of the spare bedrooms, and this is where my cousins stay. But in here is my bedroom. Now, it's my 16th birthday yesterday, which is why there are balloons everywhere. Oh, and by the way, I also have my own bathroom.
OK, so now we're going to make our way up to the top floor, and this is probably my favourite part of the house, partly because, well, it's my bedroom, and it's just a really nice, kind of airy, spacious place to be. We've got the hills and then the farmland over there. What makes this room a little bit more special for me is we've got a little practice room in here. Obviously, having my drum kit here, and the bizarre thing about this room is that it's got great sound insulation. I mean, we've got neighbours on each side. No one hears a thing, so I think everyone wins.
So this is our bedroom, the master bedroom, which, as you can see, is a rather large bedroom, which is absolutely lovely. It's completely our space. It's a really lovely part of the house. Over through this way is almost like a seating area. So sometimes I come up here and just sort of, especially when the sun is shining, just sit down and read a book for half an hour, and it's sort of almost self-indulgence. And then over here, you can look out onto the garden. From here, I can see our 2 dogs, Emmy, who's the Labrador, and Ollie, who's the collie. And then over this way, is our bathroom. A nice ensuite, lovely shower, which is what wakes me up in the morning, I have to say.
We need to move back to the southeast.
Partly for family reasons, and also because of Jeremy's work, he spends a lot of time away from home.
The Mitchells' home in Somerset has 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms and incredible views. So, what is their ideal swap?
We are looking to downsize to 3 or 4 bedrooms with a reasonable garden, a bit of land or not, but we're very flexible in that respect.
So I'd all like to say bye-bye.
Bye. I mean, I know what I think about that house. You were cooing all the way through the film. As we watched that, you're making lovely, lovely noises. But please, elaborate.
Yeah, what did you think?
Fantastic, yeah. For what the purpose we've got, I mean, obviously we need to know a little bit where it is, and we don't know that sort of information yet.
It's near Taunton.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel about that geographically.
Yeah, it sounds lovely.
Fine,
I mean, Taunton's a fantastic, is it a town, city?
Yeah.
People have heard of Taunton, haven't they? And they would want to go on holiday there, I should imagine.
It's got 6 bedrooms.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do with 6 bedrooms.
Yeah, definitely.
The reception rooms were great.
Yeah.
The views were breathtaking.
Absolutely.
What I liked about it as well is the master bedroom also had sort of like a living room.
Yes.
So you've actually got your owner's accommodation kind of thing. You can escape from everything else that's going on.
It would really work, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So we're feeling quite positive about that.
Absolutely, yeah. Loved it. Loved it.
So that is one potential. Now we're going to my hometown.
All right.
I'm a Torquinian. We're going to Torquay in
wow.
Devon. Torquay, famous tourist town. Lots of tourist attractions down there. And you're about to meet Louise and her attempt to sell you her house.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Louise. Welcome to my home. Come in and have a look around. This is my kitchen. A really lovely bespoke kitchen which has everything I need. I'm a cook, so I like everything close to hand. Let me show you what I love about this conservatory. It's really open. We had it made by a local joiner, and look at the view. Isn't that amazing? I particularly like that tree. I call it the tree of life. Isn't it beautiful? This is my lovely sitting room and my fantastic wood-burning stove. The room is comfortable. It's got fabulous windows, and I've got the view from here again. It's light and airy. I love the floor in here. It was certainly a labour of love, because once we'd taken up the old carpet, we found the floorboards were missing, and so we were stealing floorboards from upstairs so they matched. This is the dining room. So if we're not eating in the conservatory, we eat in here. And up here on the landing, we've got a window that we designed and had put in, based on Rennie Mackintosh. I'd like to take it with me, but I can't. This is a bedroom, and I know this might look a bit strange because it's a garden chair, but in actual fact I use it as a reflexology couch. This is where I do my treatments. And next door is my fabulous bathroom with my jacuzzi bath, which I love to light my candles and relax in. And this is the master bedroom. I spend a lot of time in here because it's very comfortable, and I also have my lovely view of Malden. And through here is another very good double-sized bedroom, also with wonderful views over Torquay. Across the hall is the 4th bedroom, which is also a double bedroom, but as you can see, it holds my trampoline, which is a good intention trampoline. So in other words, you won't be seeing me bouncing up and down on it today. And just at the end of the dining room is the back door, which leads onto the courtyard where the entrance to the 1-bedroom flat is. It's attached to the property but has its completely separate entrance. I have absolutely loved living here. It's a beautiful house. It's really spacious. It's got lots and lots of unusual features because it used to be a convent. Sadly, I lost my husband 18 months ago, and I really need to be nearer and closer to my oldest friends who all live in the southeast and in London. I think in the current climate, my property is now probably worth in the region of £350,000.
Louise's house in Torquay has 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and a 1-bed flat attached to the property. So what would she like to swap to?
Ideally, what I'd like is a 2-bedroom property, near water, small garden, close to an airport and within easy reach of London.
I actually felt there towards the end, Louise was describing this house.
She was.
You know, with the house
definitely.
near water and all the things she was saying. Yeah, exactly. How do we feel about Louise's house?
Yeah, I liked it. It was a little bit cluttered, but you obviously can change that. It didn't have the wow factor of the other one, though, did it?
No, I mean, to my
it's
point
half
of
the
view,
price.
Say the price.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
we are
half the
talking
price.
half the price.
For doing a straight swap, it would probably be quite a fair swap, actually.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it has got 3 bedrooms, which means that you would be able to let out 2 rooms if you wanted to.
This house also comes with its own self-contained flat. So if you wanted just to rent that out and have that as your income, that is a good way forward.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's
and in
possibilities for that.
Torquay, I mean, that's a prime location, isn't it?
You could become your very own Basil Fawlty.
Yes.
It's there for the taking.
I'm sure
I can see you doing it.
You
Sybil?
do man well.
We are now going to a different part of the country. We're going to the Garden of England. We're going to Kent.
Oh, OK.
Any first impressions about how we feel about Kent? Yes
well,
or no?
we're both from Kent.
We're both from Kent.
Yeah.
Then look what it's produced.
Yeah,
we can't argue with that.
Yeah, no.
And we are going to, and you might start twitching when I tell you this, we're going to a school.
OK.
OK, now being a
no
teacher...
children
oh,
there.
my goodness, not another school. Meet Jamie as he shows you around.
OK.
Hi, welcome to my home. This is the old school. Myself and my daughter lived here 12 years. It was built in 1869. Let me show you around. And here we are in the hallway. This is the original outside wall, actually, of the old school, and they built onto it many years ago to build this long corridor. This is one of the original classrooms, has lovely high ceilings, original oak floors, original radiators, huge feature window there. I love the atmosphere and the size of this room, the feel of it. I love to think that there used to be children in here having lessons and a teacher used to sit in the corner there over probably 100 years while it was open. There's a lovely feeling of calm in this room and in fact throughout the whole house. Now I'm going to take you into one of my favourite rooms. This is another wonderful, big, bright room, fantastic for spending time with the family, fantastic for cooking in. Huge cherry wood work surfaces throughout, brand new fitted kitchen, and handmade crackle glazed tiles. This kitchen opens up into another lovely, bright, big room. Could be used as a family room or a dining room. We spend lots of time relaxing in there while somebody's doing cooking in here. Just hang out in this room and read, have a coffee. Before I show you the bedrooms, let me tell you about the bathroom that's downstairs. I designed this bathroom myself. It has lovely marble tiles, underfloor heating, huge shower, large double bath, and his and hers sinks. This is my bedroom. The old school is located in a quiet country lane, so we always get a good night's sleep. And we have 2 other bedrooms as well, Mimi's bedroom and another spare room. In addition to the original school building, I've built on a granny annex studio flat. We're just in the process of finishing off the decorating and it's going to look fabulous when it's finished, which is completely self-contained with its own bathroom and its own kitchen. So that's the old school. Thanks for looking around. I've loved living here, but now it's time to move on. My house has been valued at £550,000.
Jamie's property in Kent is a converted school with 3 bedrooms and a self-contained annex. So, what does he want for his swap?
I'm looking for a character property with at least 3 bedrooms, closer to a city, around the £400,000 to £450,000 valuation.
I I love Jamie's house. I love. I think it's so much fun.
Yes, it is.
But I'm not swapping. You are.
Yeah.
What do we think of that?
We were actually looking around Kent a while back,
We
about
were.
2 or 3 years ago.
But the other thing is that a lot of my family live in the west side of England. Yours live in the east.
Yep.
So your family would like it, my family wouldn't.
Well, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's not really down
But
to
it's,
the family.
yeah, we liked it.
I liked
Still
the
consider it.
place. I don't know that I don't know whether we
You didn't
could
like
feel
the
there.
house, did you?
No, I didn't. Well, I thought it was fantastic.
Oh,
what
no,
he'd done
I
with
liked
it,
the
I thought it
house,
was
yeah.
stunning. When I saw the first one, I thought that was it. When I thought the second one, I
Yeah.
could see possibilities,
You
and
like
the third
that.
one's got possibilities. So you've done a good job.
You need to decide which one you would like to spend some time in and swap.
Oh,
So you'll go there, they'll come here. It's a big decision.
It is.
A fantastic, unique situation
Yes.
to find yourselves in. But you need to talk, and probably talk without me. So I will see you later on.
Okay.
Okay,
We're
later.
doing this by ourselves.
Well, I've left Jane and Paul to it because I don't want to cramp their style. They've got a big decision to make here, a lot to think about, lovely properties, what do they want, what location, how much money, the B&B potential. It's a lot to think about, isn't it? Whilst the knights weigh up the pros and cons...
Well, I actually liked all three of them for three very different reasons.
Sunita, our house swap negotiator, has some advice. Sunita's been a property negotiator for over 10 years, helping hundreds of clients move onwards and upwards.
If you want to move house quickly, then house swapping could be the answer. Now, there are several websites out there that could help you find your perfect match. You will, of course, still have to have a HIPS report, and you will be paying stamp duty. But, crucially, you get to avoid a chain, and if you're not on with an estate agent, you avoid estate agent fees.
Sunita's invaluable knowledge will help our swappers negotiate a deal. But first, we need to find out who the knights have decided to swap with. Choose company, freeze a crowd.
Hello.
No, I'm still staying. Right, OK, so, decision, please. 1, 2 or 3?
Oh, easily.
1.
Yes.
The Mitchells, the house in Somerset.
Yep. Yes.
Somerset, my lover. Guys, prepare to swap homes.
Superb. Yeah, can't wait.
The knights have gone with the Mitchells' gorgeous 6-bed house in Somerset, and I'm not surprised. It's time to swap homes for the day. Jane and Paul are off to road test the Somerset house, and the Mitchells will be trying out Henley. But unlike a quick whiz round with an estate agent, both couples will get the chance to exchange homes for the day before they decide if a permanent swap is on the cards. So what does Somerset have to offer a couple keen to set up a B&B? First impressions are all important for guests, so what will Jane and Paul's be?
Look at that.
Great setting.
It's gorgeous.
Beautiful day for it as well.
Victorian, I think?
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty good, it seems.
I'm
The
disappointed
space.
with the windows, actually, because they would have been original sash windows, and that's what we've got at home.
Yeah, we've got
And
those
it's
on
worth
purpose.
keeping them because they're so beautiful.
Looks like I spoke too soon. Maybe the inside will win them over.
Interesting flooring.
Gorgeous hallway, lovely floor, unusual. I love this, what's it called? Mantelpiece, and I love a Rayburn anyway. I wonder if they use it, because
Yeah, I can smell it, do.
Hey. Yeah, it's on, it's nice.
That's the spirit.
I'm not too keen on this
Central aisle.
central.
But we're not in love with the island.
Yeah, I just prefer a kitchen table, to be honest, because this is stuck here now, isn't it? You can't, there's no flexibility. I love the position of the sink, because obviously you're going to look out there. Gorgeous sunshine. Disappointed with the sink, actually, to be honest. It's not the top end of the range that I would have chosen, but that can be changed. That's not an issue.
Well, there you go. As the knights scrutinise Somerset's fixtures and fittings, the Mitchells are heading to Henley. They're looking to downsize to reduce Jeremy's commute to London.
It certainly looks a little small.
I might have to change the car for a small Mini or something like that.
It's got cute appeal, shall we say.
It has.
Hello.
Anyone home?
No, guys, it's all yours for the day.
Okay.
Oh, this is nice.
Well,
Black
it's
kitchen.
it's different, isn't it?
Very stylish.
It's
Very
different.
nice. Well, it certainly looks all fairly newly done there, doesn't it?
The tile's a bit on the dark side, I think, for moi.
Oh, this is lovely. That wood
Lovely.
burner.
But it's marginally smaller than our place, darling.
True, but that's always the challenge with downsizing.
See the whole thing first of all.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly what we have seen of Henley
Yeah.
is absolutely lovely. So we just have
Actually,
to.
can we light that?
Maybe the wood burner will warm Jeremy to the property. Back in Somerset, Jane and Paul have discovered the Mitchells' gorgeous sitting room complete with original windows.
What a super room. Oh, look at this. Sun shining
And
right
you've got original
through.
windows there, look.
Yay! The original sash, just like we've got at home.
Phew!
And a view of the garden. Lovely. French windows out to the...
Non-original.
Non-original. In a location like this, where you've got masses of land around, I'm disappointed that there's more that comes with the house, because we really want to have some chickens and a
Yeah, I mean, you could
couple of
keep chickens
sheep
there,
or
but you wouldn't be able to keep the sheep are out there.
Yeah, I
But
know,
they're not
but they're
yours.
not ours.
In Henley, they're on the hunt for the 3 bedrooms.
I guess this must be the master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, certainly plenty of storage though. That's good.
Yeah, let's have a quick look in here.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Right.
What's next?
So that's the
What's
master
next?
bedroom. So should we go along here and have a look at the next bedroom?
God, blimey.
It's just like, unfortunately, you really haven't got a window so you can look out of.
Yes, but who needs a view when you're asleep?
This is big. The size of this place. This is bigger than the bedroom.
There was a separate loo downstairs, wasn't there?
Yes, there was.
Yeah, so... But it's just nice to have space
Nice
though.
big shower, actually. No, that is good.
Lovely.
Nice to have a decent-sized shower.
Very good. Thumbs up.
Yeah, no, so this is, well, to be honest, this is probably the best part of the upstairs, I think, from my point of view.
It'd
Good
be a
Lord.
little bit harsh.
Hey, look, we
wouldn't
go up again. I didn't see that.
And stairs are looming large in Somerset.
I love this. I love the stairs. This is a bedroom and a half, isn't it?
Yeah, that's lovely.
There's an ensuite there, is
Yeah,
there?
huge ensuite.
Okay, let me have a look. Oh, that's really nice, yeah. Oh, you love that shower.
Yeah, there's a shower.
Perfect for you. So, great ensuite, and this could be a bedroom, and that could be a bedroom.
Yeah.
If we want, or it could be a family bedroom. I like the upstairs very much.
Yeah.
Very light, and it's quirky.
You could make this into a sort of a boutique-y type.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's growing on me, this house. I don't want to go back to civilization now. It's really calm. It's got a very pleasant feel about it.
Somerset is clearly working its magic. And in Henley, Jeremy is discovering potential at the top of the house.
There we go. What's this?
Another
up here?
floor, you see? It's bigger than you thought.
Well, it is supposed to be 3 bedrooms, I suddenly remembered, and we've only seen
Right.
2.
So they also use this
Interesting section.
as an office, don't they? Well, it's nice and light though. That's something, isn't it? Because the other bedroom only had that high window. But it's nice to look out the window though.
Lovely,
It's a lovely
lovely
view.
light. Sunny,
Lovely
bright.
view.
Spy on the neighbours. The only thing is, where would you put a bed?
Well, I guess you'd almost have to have a futon-style bed, wouldn't you? A low one. You know, sort of almost mattress on the floor type of thing.
While Jeremy and Anne think about how to fit a bed in the loft space, Jane and Paul are working out how to rent them out. They seem pretty convinced that there's B&B potential for the house, but what about the local area? Will Nick, the neighbour, give them any more pointers?
Do people come on holiday here?
There are some. I mean, there are a couple of holiday cottages and
right.
bed and breakfast places
Oh, there
just up the way.
How would you feel from a personal point of view if the people that moved into this house sort of opted to run a bed and breakfast there?
As long as it doesn't intrude too much on everybody
Yeah.
else, then no, I can't see it's a real problem.
Anne and Jeremy are off to check out Paul's boat, which he might just throw in as part of the swap.
The one with the blue stripe.
That's the boat?
Yep, that's the one.
I thought it was quite a big boat.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I've
Can
seen
you
bigger.
see from here?
Eurydice or something.
Is that a big enough boat for you?
No,
Oh, right.
in a word. It's not a 55-foot
Princess.
Sunseeker or anything.
Yep, doesn't look like Jeremy will be taking part in the regatta just yet. Back in Somerset, country pubs are the order of the day and provide yet another chance for more research about, yes, you guessed it, B&Bs.
There's a call for it then?
Yeah, definitely.
People
There's,
come in and say, have you got...
People ring us up all the time, and there's nothing else in the area.
So when people come around here, why do they come? Why do they come to this area?
It's quite a hidden area, really, the Blackdown Hills, but it's becoming more and more known because it is a beautiful countryside, and people come for walks and just see the countryside, really.
That was absolutely delicious.
That was a
Lovely
very good
spot
stop.
here.
Excellent.
Should we go on into Taunton?
With the one-day swap almost over, it's time for our couples to size up the way they feel.
I mean, we have to remember that when, we were selling in Somerset, we wanted to downsize. So any house is going to be a smaller house. So what did you think of Henley then?
Loved it.
Yeah?
Absolutely. No,
It's a lovely
I
place.
seriously did love it. I thought it was brilliant. It was much nicer than I thought it would be. I thought it was a terrific little place.
Good.
Cheers. To Henley.
Henley.
I like the lovely big living room here, lovely kitchen and dining room, and I think it would lend itself to bed and breakfast. I don't think we'd do anything to it at all. It's perfect as it is. It's lovely.
Having swapped homes and lifestyles for a day, there's a lot for everyone to consider. But will our families decide to make a permanent swap? Only tomorrow will tell. So now they've tried out each other's homes, I think it's time to bring the families together on neutral territory. So we're fit and ready to go. All we need now is a negotiator. And do you know what? We have one of the best. Sunita Shroff has been helping people find their dream properties and agree the best price for them for over 10 years. She'll be using her expertise to negotiate a deal for our swappers.
Negotiating can be a tricky and even emotional process, and the properties won't necessarily be valued at the same price. So it's my job to get both sides to agree on a fair and realistic price to swap. But house swapping isn't all about the money. It's about avoiding that awful chain, potentially avoiding the estate agent's fees, and of course of months of your property being on the market. So if both sides are prepared to negotiate, they could walk away with a great deal.
So let's remind ourselves of what Sunita has to bargain with. The Knights have the three-bedroom house in Henley-on-Thames, valued at £425,000, and a flat in Canary Wharf, valued at £400,000. They want to pursue their dream of running a rural B&B. The Mitchells have the house in Somerset, valued at £600,000, complete with lovely views and idyllic lifestyle. They want to downsize and cut down Jeremy's commute to London. But first things first, what's the feedback?
Now, you were looking for a 7-bedroom property out in the country somewhere to retreat to, and we found you something in Somerset. So, what did you think about it?
The house was fantastic.
And you obviously saw the potential.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. And as I say, they've done a very good job of, I mean, we could have walked from our house into their house and we wouldn't have changed an awful lot that they'd done,
Well,
to be
that's
perfectly frank.
Yeah, it's a lovely house.
It was. They'd done it very, very nicely, very attractive.
And we thought it could be very flexible towards the business that we have in mind.
You were looking for a 3 to 4 bedroom house, and we found you one in Henley, so I wanted to find out what exactly you thought of it.
The house was a little bit of a surprise. It was smaller than I had anticipated. But having said that, it was very nicely done. Sitting down on the sofa with a glass of wine, roaring wood burner in the corner. That was absolutely lovely. And the actual sort of way that the house is laid out, the ground floor, is really nice because it's very sociable. It's
very easy as well.
Yeah,
very open
it
plan.
is.
Lovely, easy way of living.
So, Jeremy, you work in London.
Yes.
Is this commutable for you?
Perfectly commutable.
So the location is,
it's a
ticking all
lovely-
boxes.
Yeah. Henley does have a strong attraction at the moment,
Henley's
doesn't it? It's
fabulous.
got
Loved
a
Henley.
very strong pull for us at the moment, I think, having been there
I mean,
yesterday.
we had lunch in a really lovely pub. I mean, there are loads of nice pubs there, and the buildings are fabulous. There's a theatre.
Yeah.
It's at the river. I mean, it's just a lovely place to be, no question about
Lovely
it.
environment.
So what about the cons?
You have to go onto a main road and into major civilization for any amenities at all. And, to be honest, if people want to come on holiday, they do want something that they can walk to, and there wasn't anything at all.
I think the issue for us was coming from quite a large house down to something that was that size and trying to sort of work out how we could actually live in that space. And the garden was a little bit of a surprise as well, in as much that there wasn't really much of one.
I mean, we have two
dogs.
very boisterous dogs, and it's difficult to see them in that garden, to be honest.
2 hours in, and time to catch up with Sunita. How's it going?
Interesting.
OK, what does interesting mean?
Well, basically, the Knights love the property, but
Right.
they're not crazy about the location.
Right.
And then you've got the Mitchells that love the location, not crazy about the property.
Right, now that doesn't sound like a great scenario to me.
Well, it's not ideal, but at this stage of negotiations, it's absolutely fine. It's not going to be a straightforward swap, so it's all going to boil down to money. Now, what did you think that the Somerset property was worth?
Not far off what ours is worth in Henley.
So yours is worth 425,000. Theirs has been marketed at 600,000. So you feel that there's a huge gap there. There's nearly 200,000. It's 175,000 difference.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lovely house, and their property with 2 acres in a village location would be worth the 600,000.
So basically, you think it's overvalued?
Very, very much so.
And you certainly wouldn't be prepared to pay 600,000 for it?
No, absolutely.
No.
So what do you think the fair price to swap is?
Right, we've done our calculations. We feel our house is pretty robust at the £425,000 mark. We feel that their property is probably worth, for us to swap, something in the region of our house in Henley plus 70,000.
Maximum.
Yeah.
You're being very generous.
Yeah, I know, Jane, yeah.
I would have said 50.
Yeah.
OK, I now know exactly what you want to offer. I'm going to go across to the Mitchells to find out exactly what they're prepared to put on the table and then take it from there.
Yep.
Excellent.
OK.
While the Knights are sticking to the £425,000 valuation of their home, they value the Mitchells' house a whopping £105,000 less than the asking price. Instead, they've put forward a swap at their house plus £70,000 for the Mitchells' home.
I know what the Knights are prepared to offer now. I just would like to know what you're prepared to put on the table.
OK.
Right, well, from our point of view, the differential, which is the all-important thing here, we know ours is worth around the 550 mark because of the valuation we've had recently for the remortgaging, and we think it's worth at least that. We think theirs is worth 350, so we would look at a differential of 200,000.
That is a huge difference. Well, I have actually done some research in that area, and I think 350 is erring on the low side.
Right.
Then they also didn't think your property was worth 600,000. They thought it was substantially less. Say 500,000.
Well, we think it's worth a little more than that. We just had it remortgaged, and a valuer valued it no more than a month ago at 550.
So we need to try and find common ground.
The Mitchells believe the Knights' house is overpriced and value it closer to £350,000. They have come down on their own asking price to their recent mortgage valuation of £550,000. But that still leaves a massive £200,000 spread between the two properties, and that's a big difference from the £70,000 the Knights suggested. So, how will they take the news?
I have actually found out what they would be interested in. The fair swap value is 200,000 and you pay them that.
OK.
OK.
And you're still smiling.
Because it's laughable.
There's always that.
It's so funny. I mean, it's just way, way out. And they'll be in Somerset for a long time if they're thinking that. I mean, I think they think that we're doing them a favour. But obviously, Henley's a fantastic place to live. And the prices reflect that.
Yeah.
Somerset's not such a fantastic place to live.
Oh, but they think it is.
Of course they do. And that's their prerogative.
And I think the other thing is we're looking at this not just from our house point of view, we're looking at it from a business point of view as well.
Sunita's going to have to pull something out of the bag to get this negotiation back on track. But she does have another bargaining tool up her sleeve.
They've got a flat in Canary Wharf in the Docklands.
Right.
Right.
And it's been valued at 400,000. It's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. If, coupled with the Henley property, if you were to take both of them, that would, let's say, come up to £800,000.
Right.
So if you were to take that property and the Henley property and swap it for your Somerset property, and then you pay them £250,000. Could that work?
So, Sunita's radical idea to save the negotiation is to combine the Knights Henley home and London flat. Total value £800,000 in exchange for the Mitchell's house and a cash sum of £250,000. But will they go for it?
What do you think?
Yeah, well, there's obviously a new angle. You know, it's something else to think about. I mean, that would make possibly a more interesting proposition.
Well, yeah, but it's possible.
Yeah, so that may be worth talking about more,
Yeah.
I think. Especially as you're in London anyway. I mean, that could be something that could be
It's a possibility.
of interest. Yeah, absolutely.
So the Mitchells are keen, but how will the Knights react to this new proposition?
So I have another proposition. I had an idea while I was there, and I thought, I know you have the Canary Wharf flat, and that's valued at £400,000. So I made them an offer, and I said, if you take the Canary Wharf flat plus the Henley house, would you be happy to pay the Knights £250,000? It's kind of turning it on its head.
I think.
Well, I think we need to just do a little bit of number crunching on that.
But it is something that we've considered.
It would be something we'd consider.
Don't slap me for saying this, but you look slightly wearier than you did at the start of the day.
Because I am, Christian.
Really?
Very observant.
10 out of 10 for me. So what's the scenario now?
Basically, the deal I've put on the table involves the Canary Wharf flat.
OK.
Now, things were looking a little bleak earlier, but I think both parties are back in the running again.
After 5.5 hours of tough negotiation, the deal on the table is the house in Henley along with the flat in Canary Wharf in exchange for the house in Somerset and £250,000. Will everyone agree to this, or will they be walking away empty-handed? It's decision time. My goodness, are we all exhausted by this negotiation?
Yes.
Headache.
Hard work, wasn't it? Really, really hard work. And tense.
Very tense.
Nail-biting. I have chewed my way to a manicure this afternoon, I tell you. But what we're doing now is we're holding a key. This could be the key to new futures or just possibly locking the past on all of this and walking away. Who knows? Have we made a firm decision, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Have you made a firm decision?
Yes.
OK. Well, brace yourselves. Fasten your seatbelts. I'm going to ask the question. Swap or not? Hey, I can see 2 green keys. Are we not surprised by this outcome a little bit?
Yeah, I am.
Because we have been doing this. What do we think is the next step from here?
I think we've got to chat. You've obviously got to see the apartment in London.
Exactly, I think that's is a prerequisite, yeah.
See where we go from
we go from there.
Well, I have to say, congratulations on getting this far. It's because it has been tough. And I wish you all the best, And I wish you all the best for kind of the finite negotiations.
Thank you very much. I think obviously the next step would be to go and have a look at the flat in Docklands.
I mean, any sort of deal will hinge obviously on the flat in Docklands being a viable proposition for us.
There's always a deal to be done in life on anything, in my experience, and it's just meeting those prices. If both parties are happy with the deal, walk away thinking that they've done well, then the deal's done.
6 months on, and unfortunately, the swap has fallen through. But both the Mitchells and the Knights are still keen to make that move and find their perfect swap.